You know, the ocean is this huge, deep, mysterious place. But what if we could actually listen in on it? Like, hear what it's saying? Well, today, we're going to dive into how artificial intelligence is basically getting these incredible new super senses to see and hear the hidden world beneath the waves. And spoiler alert, what it's telling us about the health of our planet is, wow.
Okay, so it all kicks off with this really cool question, one that sounds almost kind of philosophical, right? Can you tell if a coral reef is healthy just by listening to it? It might sound a little out there, but this one idea is leading scientists to a totally revolutionary way to keep tabs on our oceans. And the answer? Yeah, it's a huge, resounding yes.
See, every healthy ecosystem, it has its own unique sound. Think of it like a natural fingerprint. And for coral reefs, that sound is nothing short of a symphony.
So, if you're picturing this quiet, peaceful underwater world, just, throw that idea out the window. A healthy coral reef is way more like a bustling city at rush hour. It's just a wild cacophony of life, right? You've got the snap of a shrimp's claw, the grunt of a fish defending its turf, the crunch of a parrotfish just munching on coral. All those little sounds, they come together to create this incredibly complex symphony. It's literally the soundtrack of a thriving ecosystem.
And this whole new way of listening to the planet? It actually has a name, ecoacoustics. And trust me, it's a total game changer. I mean, instead of just looking at an ecosystem, which has its limits, scientists can now listen to it. They can track its health day and night, even in super murky water where cameras are totally useless. It's like having a stethoscope for the entire ocean. Pretty cool, right?
But what happens when that symphony starts to fade? A quiet reef? That's a dying reef. And that silence, well, it's becoming this deafening roar all across our oceans. And here's why that silence is so alarming. Check this out. Coral reefs, they cover less than 1% of the entire ocean floor. Less than 1%. But they support a staggering 25% of all known marine life. I mean, they're basically the rainforest of the sea. So when they go quiet, believe me, the entire ocean is holding its breath.
The thing is, these vital habitats are just under assault from all sides. You've got overfishing, disease, coastal development, and of course, the relentless heat waves from climate change. They're all taking their toll. And each one of these threats is like another instrument falling silent in that beautiful reef symphony.
The problem here, really, is just the sheer scale of it all. The ocean is, well, it's huge. And listening to thousands upon thousands of hours of underwater audio to track these changes, it's just an impossible task for any human being. We desperately needed a new kind of listener, one with, superhuman hearing. And so, scientists turned to this incredibly powerful new tool. They decided, okay, let's build an AI with golden ears, an artificial intelligence that could learn to listen to the ocean with an ability that no human could ever match.
And here it is, meet SurfPerch. This AI, developed by the minds at Google Research and DeepMind, it's designed to do one thing and one thing only. Listen to the reef. It can sift through thousands of hours of audio, just tirelessly picking out those telltale sounds of fish and other marine life. And get this, it can do in minutes what would take a human researcher months to get through.
So you might be wondering, how in the world do you teach an AI to hear a fish? Well, it turns out you do it with a little help from thousands of friends. This project, called Calling in Our Corals, asks citizen scientists, people just like you and me, to listen to these reef recordings and just click whenever they heard a fish sound. And this created this massive human-verified library of sounds, basically the perfect curriculum for an AI student.
Okay, and here's where things get really interesting. To make the AI even better at picking out fish sounds, the researchers had this kind of crazy idea. They thought, what if we trained it on bird songs? I know, it sounds super strange, right? But it totally worked. The complex patterns in all those bird calls actually helped the AI learn the fundamental structure of natural sounds in general, and that made it even more accurate at picking out the specific grunts and pops of fish. Wild.
But, listening is really only half the story. To truly understand the ocean, we also need to see it. And telling one fish from another, or one type of coral from 1,000 others, well, that presents a whole new set of challenges for AI.
So this brings us to a different but just as massive challenge. How do you teach an AI to see the ocean with the kind of precision that an expert marine biologist has?
The answer is a project called Orca. But here's the key thing. Orca isn't a tool like SurfPerch. It's more like a teacher.
It's this massive, expertly curated data set. Think of it as a visual encyclopedia of the ocean, and it's designed specifically to teach AI how to see the underwater world through the eyes of an expert.
Now, building Orca was just a massive undertaking. It involved collecting nearly 15,000 images, drawing tens of thousands of little boxes around specific animals, and then using AI to generate super detailed descriptions. But, and this is the most important part, they had human experts, real marine biologists, verify and refine every single one of those details. It's that human touch that makes Orca so incredibly powerful.
And the result? Well, it's a data set with a richness that is just unparalleled. Look at this. Orca has more than 3 times the amount of detailed descriptive text as the next closest marine data set out there. So it's not just about having more pictures. It's about having a much, much deeper understanding of what's in those pictures.
And that level of detail, it makes all the difference in the world. Just look at this example. Without Orca, other AI models just see a fish. One of them even guesses it's a marlin. But with the kind of training data that Orca provides, an AI can correctly identify it as a tuna and even describe its specific iridescent markings. I mean, that's the difference between a novice and a true expert.
All right, so we've got an AI that can hear, and we've got a way to teach an AI to see. But when you put them together, you get something that's way more than just a couple of tools. You basically get a whole new set of senses, a way for science to experience the ocean on a scale we never ever could before. So let's break it down. On one hand, you have SurfPerch, the listener. It's a practical, in-the-field tool for real-time conservation. On the other hand, you have Orca, the teacher. It's a foundational resource that's pushing the absolute boundaries of research. They're like 2 complementary sides of the very same coin, both working to help us understand the ocean.
And these tools, they're truly opening up a brand new frontier in ocean research. I mean, we can now conduct biological surveys on a scale that was previously unimaginable. And that means we can start asking questions that we never even thought to ask before.
And this isn't some far-off science fiction, This is happening right now. Researchers are using these exact technologies to monitor reef restoration projects in Indonesia, to compare the health of protected reefs versus unprotected ones in the Philippines, and to identify species with just incredible accuracy. We're finally able to turn the overwhelming, beautiful diversity of the ocean into data that we can actually understand and act on.
So we are developing these absolutely incredible new ways to see and hear our planet. We have a clearer picture of the health of our oceans than we have ever had in human history. But with all this new knowledge comes a really profound responsibility. The question is no longer just, what can we know? The real question now is, what are we going to do about it?